Hello, can you all hear me? The name is Caroline. I come from Edinburgh. I am a health and social care trainer. Prior to that, I had a career in the military, and I am an adult human female and a lesbian. And these are the things that I wish to talk about today. So, I lost my career in the army. I was sacked because I am a lesbian. That did not deter me. I have forged ahead. I have a new career now, and I teach, amongst other things, first aid. Now, as a lesbian, and it's drawing on earlier threads, I was marching in the 70s. I marched for Section 28, against Section 28. I marched for women's rights. I stand here as someone who lost my rights because I am a lesbian. So these children know not what of they speak. I have always believed in giving back, and for a long time I volunteered with LGBT Youth Scotland as a befriender and giving training for very little payment as a way of giving back. Now, I stopped befriending years ago because of my concerns about a lack of safeguarding, and despite raising my concerns at a formal level, I was hushed and I was muscled more or less out of the door, and we all know where that ended up. More recently, I've been donating first aid training to the LGBT Youth Scotland workers for the cost of their books and nothing else. So it is representing a huge input from me, but no more. The last session I did, in the second group of the afternoon when time was tight, they insisted on wasting 20 minutes in a round of gender pronouns. When I gave my pronouns as I, me, mine, this was subsequently reported as hateful, and I received a very terse email from one of their senior people. This, ladies, is how to gaslight them back. When she tried to take me to task, I said to her, well, I'm sorry, it did catch me a little bit on the back foot, because I have come a long journey with my sexuality, and I'm maybe not fully there yet. And so when I feel ready to share my pronouns, I will, but it wasn't then. I felt too embarrassed and it felt too hard. Of course, she started apologising. Yes! Okay. And so, they probably think I'm a big trans or maybe an NB. I don't care. I won that battle. Here's the story I want to tell you, though, in the context of first aid. If somebody is in cardiac arrest and you have access to a defibrillator, you need to use it. When you are using that defibrillator, to get the pads must be on bare skin, so that is naked to the waist. Okay, jewelry and everything out of the way. Now, as I was explaining this, a young woman in the group, identifying as a man and calling herself by a Norse god's name, isn't that odd? They all choose these weird and esoteric names. Anyway, I digress. She was very clearly a woman, and she became very distressed at the notion that in order to save her life, somebody would be cutting through her binder. She said to me, how can I make sure that doesn't happen? I said, you can't, because you are unconscious. And when you are unconscious, consent is implicit and will always err on the actions that need to be taken to save life. She said, I do not consent. I said, when you are outside your workplace, it matters not a jot, it will happen. In your workplace, I suppose, you could approach your human rights and have some caveats entered onto your employment records so your workplace first aiders know that that is a thing, yet that you are not consenting to your binder being cut off, therefore you are not consenting to living. So I just thought I would share that story with you because that's where we are. These young women and men so enthralled to this madness that they have ceased all rational thinking about their own well-being and the actions that might be taken to save their lives. I stand here and I just despair. But we are winning. Slowly, slowly, we are winning, one person, one battle at a time. Do not, never desist. This is the hill I die on. Finally, let me just enjoin you to join me in a rousing chant. Lesbians do not have a penis. Lesbians do not have a penis. Lesbians do not have a penis. I thank you.
Thank you, Caroline. You know, there's an element of it being